August 8th, 2022. NASDAQ Futures Morning Impressions. We got a late start to the morning impressions here. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It's how it goes sometimes, right? A lot of other things going on. Another full-time job plus trading. That's two full-time jobs, especially with intraday trading. Boy, when you're not swing trading and you're really having to pay attention to the market as as much or as intensely as you do with intraday trading, whew, it can take it out of you. And mornings are particularly busy. So all of that aside, and I'm also getting a new headphone microphone too. I'm really excited about that coming on Thursday. But yeah, something to smile about, I guess. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've had these ones for about oh gosh, I don't even know, 3 or 4 years. Anyways, morning impressions on NASDAQ. Let's go. Let's just get into it. So I've got our pro buying divergences up here because that's one of the main indicators that I use presently. So let's take a look across 4 time frames, and that should be well known. That's something that I always look at early in the morning. Is where are these 4 time frame pro buying divergences? 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, and 12 hour. I think 12 hour gives you a little bit of a head start against the daily. So what are we seeing here? Seeing an aggressive move by bulls this morning with still kind of 1 hour bulls getting up over that zero line. Buyers getting really aggressive on the 5 DMA. So on the 1 hour rate of change, it looks like we did pull away, and that rate of change in the overnight session did flip here. So that might have been an indicator that buyers wanted to go in a different direction, but I just don't trust the overnight nearly as much as I do the market open. So 8 a.m. Eastern time, I don't like to take bids or asks that early in the morning, and we saw a little bit of movement, and we'll discuss that in just a minute. So overnight session defending the anchor here from this pivot. It looked pretty darn good on the lower time frame. So we've got to get back into this because we're getting some activity now. Divergence still realistically showing on the 1 hour and on the 2 hour and on the 4 hour. So this was an aggressive move to clear out that high, but my instincts this morning were that buyers wanted to get control, or I'm sorry, sellers wanted to get control today, but with all the whipping back and forth, I decided to let it play out. Could have took one off the 5 DMA, probably should have took one off the 5 DMA, but I didn't. Late morning, late start. I wanted to see how the market kind of unfolded, and we'll bring in the lower time frame to take a look at that. We'll also look at the 1 hour OBV and the 2 hour OBV. Actually, let's look at the 1 hour OBV plus pro buying divergence. So we had this 2-point divergence showing up on the 1 hour, and that was our last session. We did see a little bit of selling off. So I did change the on balance volume. So what I was looking at on the on balance volume was that my 2 hour and my 1 hour chart showed different look back periods. And I'm looking at this on balance volume number to try to determine where it's generating this number. So on balance volume, and did this marker change on the 1 hour by changing the look back period? So previously I had a 120-day look back on the 1 hour, and we'll see this on balance volume change, but it doesn't. I think that this is reflecting just fine on the on balance volume. No, that number changes dramatically, and I don't know why. Let's take a look and just make sure that this is boy, this should be scaling, automatic, based on the date range, left axis. That's strange, isn't it? That OBV changes dramatically when we shift the look back period, and I don't know why, but the structure of the on balance volume looks identical, even though the numbering has changed. I don't know why that occurs. In any event, at least the structure of the indicator still looks the same. So we saw a little bit of selling off, but we did not see a breakdown in the support of the on balance volume that looked like buyers wanted to hang around. But now we're getting a resistance look. So this seems like a tricky area to be, up near the 1.25 on that channel with support, and possibly with this type of resistance coming in on the on balance volume. So this could be a back and forth kind of day, but are we going to break out to the upside just based on this? Looking like, boy, we need to put a different color in here for this so that we can get a clear, distinctive look. Let's go with the tomato here. Boy, are we going to break to the upside or break to the downside? Buyers on the 1 hour look like they've got control temporarily. And they did give this a go and clear out the high. We've got to get onto the 10-minute chart here in a second. 2 hours still showing a relatively strong divergence, in the 2-hour OBV showing a little bit of resistance while piercing the high. So we're going to pay attention to that. I'm trying to find on balance volume and pro buying divergences that cooperate together like we had here. Price action moving down, on balance volume looking supportive, and professional buying looking like, let's rescale this here. Looking like it was supported, and professional buying over a 2-day period, giving us a nice divergence. So looking for something like that. Are we getting it now with the on balance volume, which would suggest that sellers are trying to gain control of this market? $1.25, it's going to take a good deal of compression, I feel like, to break out of that 1.25. Market's going to do what the market wants to do, but generally speaking, the 1.25 from the control price, and I think we've got a really good control price here on the 2-hour, it's usually a little bit more difficult to break out of. We saw that back here and back here. Same thing with control price. So weak under control price, but strong over control price, and better buying opportunities near the 1.25 and the 2.25 of the channel. All right, we're going to monitor that. There may be some back and forth in the opening couple of sessions this week, but I don't really want to pay attention to this and the divergence that's going on in the 2 hours. So let's bring in the 10-minute and see what we see potentially happening. So we saw a little bit of a correction here, and sellers kind of gained control at the 5 DMA. So we blasted straight through that 5-day moving average. Took an ask off the 5 DMA, and that turned out to be a good day. So into the overnight session, we saw another, would have been another strong ask off the 5 DMA, but we have since flipped that 5 DMA. Buyers regain control. So now we're working with an uptrend channel. So now that we've had that overnight session, we've got a little bit more data to work with. Anchored volume weighted average price working out for us here. Buyers came in the overnight session and defended the anchor from this pivot. Buyers this morning, the heavy hitters, defended along the 5-day moving average and the 1.25 of the channel. We have broken out of that 1.25 on the 10-minute. It's very minor, so not a complete picture, but this would have been That was the bid that you would have put in, or that I would have put in. You should have put in. Late start was getting to my my morning routine, and was hoping to get here as the heavy hitters were getting back into the market, but got a little bit late. You see a large candle like this, and clearing out of the overnight session high, but something telling me not to trust it, and I'm going with that instinct that this is going to push higher. I don't know why. I'd like to see another test of that 5-day moving average to see where this market wants to go. Does the control price look good on this minor channel? It's not too bad. It looks pretty decent for the most part. We are getting a little bit of selling. I didn't trust this move this morning. I don't know why. So I stayed sidelined. And sometimes that's, I feel like for me, the best case. If you're relatively uncertain about the direction. I mean, missed the 5 DMA, so with that relative uncertainty, I think I'm just staying sidelined for the time being to see what this market's going to do. And then, as the day progresses, we'll see what happens. But clearly, bull's making a move here. Buyer is making a move, but I don't know how much I trust it at this point. So I want to see what it does down here. I guess you could be a seller outside the 1.25. I'd like to see this break back in. Strong over control. Man, maybe we're just having one of those kind of days. I'm going to wait for the market to develop. Hopefully, if you were staring at that 5 DMA, you took a bid off of there and you made some quick cheddar this morning. It always really sucks to kind of miss that. Retest the 5 DMA once we flip. So that's how it goes in intraday trading, and I'm going to wait for the market to reveal a little bit more information, and we'll try to hit that mark. So the challenge is, can you make $100 to $200 a day intraday trading? So we could probably make that today, but where we're going to make it is yet to be seen. Yet to be seen. More information to come in a midday review, and then maybe we'll get a little bit more clarity too with our instincts about what's going to go on this morning. So thanks for tuning in. That's the morning impressions. Final thoughts. I'm going to be patient. That's what I'm doing today. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be chasing price action today, and I'm definitely not going to. One thing I don't want to do right now is chase the price higher. That's one thing that I just don't feel like I want to do today. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.